What up, Booters? We are in Sydney. I know you know why. You've seen it on socials. Jermain Defoe is in the building. This might be one of our biggest and one of our best podcasts we have ever done. We go through so much about his career, so many diamonds in there. Make sure you check it out. But just quickly, we have been getting a lot of comments on our apparel that we have been wearing. The cool jackets, the cool jerseys. Well, Armadura, our apparel partner, is making some of the best in market in Australia. If you are a club out there that wants their own identity, their own kits of the highest quality, make sure you get in the link in bio and hit them up. And even for all the Booters and Patronis out there, we are bringing out our own playing jerseys very soon. You're going to have to keep an eye out. This is what our home kit is going to roughly look like. It's even got, well, that's exactly right on the back there. It is awesome gear. We absolutely love it. As I said, if you are a club out there, get in the link, check it out. And man, Jermain Defoe was unreal. Let's get into it.
All right, Booters. I am honoured to say we are joined by our biggest guest yet. Premier League legend, ladies and gentlemen, Jermain Defoe. What's going on, JD?
Yeah, man. Fresh off a flight, man.
I know.
The jet lag, and you're leaving when?
Tomorrow.
Damn.
Do you know how mad it is? We come, obviously, yesterday evening and that. And I woke up this morning, I'm like, I'm going home tomorrow. It's the craziest thing. I feel like about 5 days to get here. but yeah, so worth it. Because I've always said, you know, I'd love to go to Australia. I've got a lot of Australian friends back home in London. And obviously when this come around, I was like, yeah.
This is your first time here?
First time.
Wow.
And you spent more time travelling than here?
Yeah.
What did you think of Bondi today?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, obviously the sun didn't come out, but like, again, heard so much about it. And then, you know, when you're standing somewhere, you're like, how my hair? It was just crazy.
Damn.
It's crazy that he's been and I haven't been, and I've lived here my whole life.
Have you not been to Bondi?
I've never been to Bondi.
Did a lot of people recognise you in Bondi?
It was quite funny though. There was so many Spurs fans. A lot of English people as well.
Okay.
A lot of English people. Yeah.
Anywhere near a beach? Like, where are all the English people near us?
Yeah, that's right.
But that just shows, you know what's crazy though, right? It just shows you like the power of football all over the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, it's just like, you just don't realise as players, when you're just playing, you're just involved in it, you're so focused, you don't realise the impact that you have all over the world. It's honestly, it's mad.
What about the cafe? The cafe?
What cafe?
There's a whole Spurs cafe in...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
there's a guy, which is a part of this pod, but yeah, there's a guy in Melbourne, he's got a Tottenham cafe.
See, that's
like
mad.
He started from Aussie Ardilla's days, was a fan.
You're joking.
And he's got all the kits all around the cafe. So,
But I think one of the reasons why a lot of big players from overseas come to Australia is because they don't get recognised anywhere near as much.
You get a little bit
overseas.
of peace. Yeah, get peace.
Yeah, what percentage do you think it was compared to back home to people recognise you down at Bondi?
I just feel like, because like I said, obviously the power of football all over the world, I just feel like if you're in a space where there's a lot of people,
yeah,
and they say like one person recognises you, and then because maybe sometimes people might see someone and be like, okay then, but not really say anything. But then you get a little bit, people get confident, don't they, when someone else has sort of like gone over and then. So maybe it was that. I don't know. It's and the fact that obviously there's been English players that have come to the league. So I suppose then they probably show more interest in the Premier League and then recognise the players.
Wearing the polo,
and obviously wearing Tottenham as well. Yeah. So they put two and two together. Is it him? Okay, yeah, it must be. He's got the Tottenham thing on. Yeah.
That's one thing about Australia is we've always had access to the Premier League. That's that's the league we watch here.
Yeah, for sure.
For always since we were like little.
Yeah,
Jermain, let's go back to the beginning. Beckton.
Yeah.
Growing up, talk to us about what football meant to you as a child, and I guess what were the early days like? Let's talk before everything. Like, let's talk Senrab days.
The beginning, where it all started. Yeah. Where there was no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
You could just chill.
No, just chill.
And my mum's on the line looking at me. Come on. Like, no, but do you know what? It was like, the best memories. I think if you speak to any player, they always sort of like go back to, you know, the days where, you just play. I grew up in Canning Town, moved to Beckton, me and my mum. I mean, my mum was pregnant at 17, had me at 18. Single parent, got a lot of support from my nan and granddad at the time. But yeah, just a working class background and playing football on the streets with my mates. Just sort of like emulating the players that I watched in the Premier League, you know, praying and hoping one day I'll get an opportunity to do that, because that was always my dream. But I was obsessed with football.
Who was your idol?
Do you know what? Growing up, I used to watch like centre forwards, Teddy Sheringham, Ian Wright, Robbie Fowler, Alan Shearer, Les Ferdinand, all these sort of like great icons of the Premier League. Andy Cole.
It's a golden era.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So I just grew up watching the centre forwards and studying studying centre forwards and trying to get bits out of their game. But I just the obsession for football was just like from day one. Like I was outside playing football. If I wasn't outside, I was in the house. I used to roll my socks up and just like smash it around the house, breaking like light bulbs. And my nan saying to me, one day you have to buy me light bulbs.
Yeah, what were they like? Your grandparents and your
they were the best.
Mum?
Yeah, the best. Because around me, all I saw was just hard-working people. Like my nan worked in like a sugar factory in East London. My granddad worked in a meat factory. Mum worked around the clock before my sister come along. So that sort of like environment around me, just everyone sort of like just working hard to just survive really. Because my nan and my nan and granddad came from the Caribbean.
What part of the Caribbean?
St. Lucia.
St. Lucia.
No,
my mum's parents from Barbados.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So you can imagine my nan and granddad travelled from the Caribbean to England with like nothing.
Yeah.
No money, just anything, just to start again. And I was just like, wow, can you imagine how scary that is? From St. Lucia, small island,
To East
to London.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? And then my nan became friends with an Italian lady, took her in, and then obviously like left my mum's siblings in the Caribbean, then had my mum and my auntie that were born in East London, and then that was it. But the support, it was amazing.
Who did you grow up supporting in East?
No, my local team's West Ham.
Oh, okay.
So West Ham was literally, I don't know, a few miles up the street from where I grew up.
Yeah.
But I only went there once. But like I said, I was one of those kids though. I used to just even at a young age, I was like studying the game, and I was like studying centre forwards. So I wasn't one of those kids that you see. Oh, this is my team. I've got this shirt on.
You just like players and stuff.
I used to watch not just players, just centre forwards.
Just centre forward.
Just already with
Yeah.
What were you picking up at that age?
Everything,
Like,
movement, finishing.
how old are we talking here to be watching movement of a
Even
player?
like primary school.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
Especially
deep, man.
every kid at that stage
Yeah.
wants to be a striker.
Yeah,
You
primary
don't have
school.
time to do that now.
Primary school, yes. Honestly, it was just the maddest thing, and I always felt comfortable anyway. Like when I was like training and playing for the school team, I played like 3-4 years up. Like I always felt comfortable in front of goal, like that I could score goals, and like it was just that's how it started really.
Talk to us about Senrab, because I've heard a bunch of players mention it.
Yeah.
For those who don't know in Australia, what exactly is it?
So it's a Sunday league team. So my first year at Sima, I was like 8. I mean, and the year above me was like Bobby Zamora, Ledley King. I
Did
think
JT go?
JT, Muzzy is it? I think Sol Campbell. There are so many.
Why that team? Why it was
Paul
is it just that area?
Paul Konchesky. It's just the East End.
Yeah.
The East End just produced players. You know what I mean? David Beckham's from the East End.
Yeah.
He played for a different team, but just produced players.
Is that because I'm pretty sure in the Eastern, I don't know if it's like that up north, but they have all the cages.
all the cages?
So it's like five-a-side, like street
Five-a-side,
football, isn't
street
it?
football. You're just playing with your
Yeah.
mates, and like in the cage, like it was so congested, so you have to do all your skills and stuff. Like honestly, it was just.
But it's organised. This is organised, or it's just you
pull
go
up.
down.
No,
and
it's like
play?
a local park,
No, it's not organised. You just like you said, just pull
go
up and
down
just
and
play.
play.
Yeah, just play.
Right.
And probably play against guys 10 years older than
10
you.
years older, not bigger. Yeah, exactly.
So you're
Not
going
bigger.
down at like 8 years old.
I'm going now. No, Simrad was a team. But I'm talking like generally. I'm talking about around East London.
Yeah,
where
just
it
like
was
up the road and shit.
Yeah, just like on the
gotcha.
streets, just playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to book courts here.
Yeah.
$90 an
No one
hour.
in Oz plays on the street
Yeah,
yet, man.
yeah.
Did they not play on the street?
Nah, it's
Why
probably
is that?
one of
Why
the
is that?
biggest. I don't know, maybe because of where the
Facilities.
It's the facilities. It's not seen as like the number one sport. Everyone's playing like either rugby, AFL, or cricket on the street
Yeah,
more.
so in England, that's what I mean. It's just football.
So when did you like realize that I'm going to go professional here? Like what age did you think that? I mean, you obviously always had the dream, but when did it hit you like, oh, I'm in with a chance out? Because every kid in London wants to be a footballer.
Yeah, I think I knew from young, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I knew from young. I remember listening to Michael Owen recently on Rio's podcast, and he said that he knew from a young age that he was going to make it. And I started smiling when he said it, because I was like, it's so weird because, and even when people listen, they probably think, yeah, but how do you know though? But I don't know. Honestly, it was just maybe because you just got that focus and drive, even from a young age, and you're just sort of like willing to do anything it took really to make sure that you make it. But of course, you need a little bit of luck, like at the same time.
Do you remember a period where you had some significant doubts? Like,
Never.
nah,
No.
Man,
never like, I didn't get into this team, or
No, I never had plan
playing
B.
poorly and
Never had plan B, nothing.
did you? Have you been one of those strikers that's like never had a goal drought?
No, I've had goal droughts.
But like even at a young age, like because that you
Not
just-
young age, but obviously when you get to a certain level, probably it's normal because everyone's at that level.
Yeah.
But when I was young, because I scored a lot of goals when I was young, so I played for my district, I scored a lot of goals, and I went to a place called Lillishall, so I got a scholarship. So it's like football school of excellence. So it's like 32 players, the best players in the country. There's like the seniors and the juniors. So there's 16 juniors, 16 seniors, and you live there for 2 years, and you train every day, and you obviously go to school and stuff. And they picked like 4 centre forwards, so obviously I was one of 4. But when I went to Lillishall, that was like a big thing because then you're training every single day. So you're sort of like, do you know what I mean? From the age of 14, you're training that repetition every single day. So by the time I left there, when I was 16 and I signed for West Ham, I don't know, I just felt like I was ahead of the players that of my age at the time.
Did Charlton see you first though?
But I was at Charlton, but I was at Charlton from like when I was 10.
Oh, right. Okay.
I was at Charlton from when I was 10, but just training and stuff, playing games.
Yep.
And then what happened was, then when I went to Lillishall,
Yep.
after your second year at Lillishall, then you can sign your sort of like YTS, you sign your contract.
Yep.
And obviously decided to go to West Ham because at the time, obviously West Ham just won the FA Youth Cup. That Joe Cole, Michael Carrick, all that lot. So,
that was like that West Ham Academy was like an institution.
yeah, it was crazy.
Right?
And obviously because obviously from the East End as well.
Yeah.
For my family, it was obviously it was close up. It was easy. A lot of some of my cousins were West Ham fans. But yeah, and a lot of the boys that played for West Ham, I played with for my district, so they were my friends. So it just made sense. And obviously Harry Redknapp is the manager.
He's been very humble here because I don't know what age you were, but at what year was it actually? Like,
I was 16. I don't know what you can say.
so yeah, I know. But what year was it in like the timeline of like life? Was it 1990?
Yeah, 99.
1999, 1.6 million.
Yeah, I was
was
16,
paid
yeah.
for you at 16
But you know what's
years
crazy?
old.
When I think about it now, I actually think it's mad. Because if I think about it now, I'm just like a 16-year-old, like from the East, I just left school. And when they paid 1.6 million, it was on the news, it was in the papers.
It was controversial.
I had to go to tribunal, and it was just like, and it was just like this wonder kid, all that sort. But I didn't even kick the ball for the first team. In fact, I didn't even kick the ball for West Ham youth team.
Wow.
And I just left school, and I remember my first game was against Wimbledon. And I come off the pitch, and there was these guys like Paps taking pictures of me. I remember saying to someone like, "Why is this guy taking pictures?" Like honestly, it was the maddest thing. But because I was so, you know what it's like when you're young, you're just fearless, and you just play football. I'm just playing football. I'm just doing what I love to do. So I didn't really think about it. But like when I look back now, I was just like, it was mad.
That's a big price tag in that time, era, for a 16-year-old as
That
well.
hadn't even kicked a ball. Yeah, there was potential, but there's no guarantees.
Sorry, bro, I don't want to jump off this because I'm so obsessed with like the psychology of players, and I feel like it's very normal for players to have doubts, especially when they're young, especially when they're going through some kind of adversity, right? Why do you think your mentality was like that? Was you just born like that, or it was helped
I think
by
it
your
was
parents or something like that?
Yeah,
or?
probably from like I said before, like my nan and granddad and my mum. My mum was strict, to be fair. Like so, at the time, I just felt like it's almost like I knew I was different to a lot of my friends. So, for example, even when I played for my district, I used to hear like stories of the boys used to be drinking and going out and stuff like that, and I used to be like, "What? But you want to be a footballer? You're drinking alcohol, or you're going out partying, or you're talking to girls?" I was like,
Right.
"Wow, that's mad."
Didn't understand
Me,
it. I
I was home in bed. I was in bed by 9 o'clock. I was sitting in my room just watching videotapes, VHS at the time. The young kids don't know what that is. So for me, all these things that I used to hear was a bit like, that's crazy. I can't believe you're even doing that.
Right.
Like, why? I didn't understand it. And then when I signed for West Ham when I was 16, the players used to go out again. They're 16, they're going out, they're making a little bit of money, they've got cars and stuff like that. Again, I was just like, that's the craziest thing. You're not even in the first team yet. Why are you going out? I didn't understand it. So I had like that sort of like elite mentality from a young age. And obviously I went to Lillishall, so all that sort of helped me anyway in terms of your diet, how you sleep, how you recover, just being like a professional. That was it really.
Yeah.
So Harry, I was reading here, said terrific little player, as he always says.
He does one of the great Harry Redknapp impressions.
But going back to what you were saying here, nothing knocks him. If he misses, he'll just be there for the next one. Like it sounds like you miss, it's like it doesn't matter. Whereas some players, as you know, one miss will ruin their whole game.
No, it don't matter. Because everyone misses chances.
Yeah.
And I just feel like when you work hard and you do everything that you need to do throughout the week leading up to the game, and you've sort of like you try and tick all the boxes in terms of like you train well, you eat well, you recover, then come match day you should be ready. And even if you miss a chance, then okay, the next one.
So you ended up being top scorer in the 01-02 season for the club. How does, at that age, being the top scorer, again, no phase, it was just like, just move on with my football.
Yeah, how quick did you get into that first team setup then if you were moving that quick?
So basically, so obviously left school 16, went to West Ham and I played 17. Yeah, I played when I was 17.
So within a year you were playing first team football? Like
at West Ham, yeah. So I made my debut at 17 against, I think it was Wolves in a cup. But I come on for like 6 minutes and I scored. But obviously when you talk about, do you doubt? I never doubted myself, but it was always like that question, like, okay, I scored a lot of goals. Like every game I scored like 2, 3, 4 goals in the youth team. So even at 16, I'm thinking, I want to be in the first team. I want to train for the first team, to the point where on a Thursday, the youth team players used to go to college. But on the first, I used to turn up at the training ground. And I should come out with the first team players, and then Harry would be like, okay, then you're training with us.
Yeah, well, you're here, you might as well just jump
on. I'm here to get in the first team. That's the objective. Yeah, like it's all nice playing, for the youth team. I understand, but no. Like I'm here to whoever's in my way. I heard whoever's in my way at the time. Di Canio, obviously, Di Canio was like the legend at the club. You had Paolo, you had Canute. We bought Todorov, Titi Kamara, Freddie Canute. And I remember sitting watching the game sometimes. And I remember sitting and I see some of the chances. I'm like, I would have scored that. And the youth team players, they'll laugh at me. They'll be like, JD, you're funny. I said, no, but I think I would have scored that. But I was just like, that confidence, because I worked hard. I was never one of those players just finish training and they go in, go in the gym for a little bit, in the cars home. I'll still be on the training pitch. I'll say to the youth team manager, I said, can you get one of the goalkeepers to stay out for like 20 minutes so I can just practice. So
I don't think people understand this era as well.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This is like, now players are protected and stuff. A 16, 17-year-old, in that era, the fans acting the way they do, the club, even some senior pros, they're going to be like, who's this little shit? Who does he think he is?
Yeah.
To act like that is insane.
Yeah, and it's funny, because players, when they talk like that, confident players, people make fun of them. If you're sitting there going, I'd score that.
Yeah.
Like, shut up, bro.
Yeah, you didn't mind it. Yeah, I just believed that because in my mind I just thought like I never actually thought like, okay, because nothing really changes when you actually think about it. If I get an opportunity to score in a youth team, whether that's the under 17s or under 19s, when I get the same opportunity in the Premier League with the first team, it's the same. Yeah. If you've rehearsed it so many times, all your instincts kick in, you can finish it regardless of the environment or what team you're at, or do you know what I mean? So
goals are the same size, and
goals are the same size. Yeah. So I was always backed myself. I was always confident, and any centre forward I've come across, any great centre forward that I've had conversations with, they speak the same. They speak the same. Harry Kane, when I was at Tottenham, and in 2014 when I was leaving to go to Toronto, I actually said, me and Brad Friedel had a conversation. And I remember saying to Brad Friedel, this guy's got to basically take this number 18 shirt. I said to the kit man, give Harry Kane the number 18 shirt because he's the next one to go on and do. And everyone was like, really, do you think? Because he scored a lot of goals in training. But what I saw in Harry, he reminded me of myself. He'd come over, fearless, bang, bang. And sometimes people probably thinking, he should have passed it there. What's he passing it for? He wants to score goals. He wants to make an impression to the players and the manager. And that's what it was like. And then when he got into the first team and he started to do what he's doing, I was like, are you surprised what Harry's done? I was like, no. Yeah, just because you're surprised don't mean I have to be surprised. Do you know what I mean?
He had a weird, he was at Leicester for a bit.
He went everywhere.
He had like a weird
but you saw it earlier.
But again, we could talk about mentality. Yeah. Like there's a lot of players that would have been like,
yeah.
He was like, no.
One that had a real interesting mentality, and you mentioned him before, but I've heard you speak a little bit about him, but I'd love to open it up to our audience, is Paolo Di Canio, because what a player, but what didn't he do on the field, but also like just from your experiences with him, because I believe you had a good relationship with him, but at the same time you probably can also share potentially how difficult he might have been for Harry to deal with at times.
Yeah. Harry's probably, you got to get Harry on. The stories and stuff like that. Yeah, the stories, but he was just like a maverick. Like he was like such a character, different to anything I've seen. And obviously because I was young at the time, and you go from obviously the youth team, first team, completely different environment, And obviously, but I was just so obsessed with Paolo because he used to just fascinate me. Like, I used to watch him in training, the best trainer every day.
Really?
The best trainer every day.
Right.
The best trainer every day. When the first team was off, because when you're in the youth team, you don't get days off.
Yeah.
I remember one day I came in, we trained on a Wednesday. And I remember in the distance, I can see someone running on his own. And I thought, who's that? And I remember saying to the youth manager, I said, Tone, who's that? They said, oh, that's Paolo. I said, but the first team's off today. He said, yeah, but he don't take days off, does he? Like, wow. I was like, I said, so that's why he's the best player.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I just thought, okay then. And I used to watch him in the gym. He'd come in, he'd have a massage. And then everything he did was just elite. Everything he did was just the way he used to, everything. And, but he was just mad. Like, honestly, some of the stories.
What's some that stand out to you that like...
You won't get in trouble for saying.
Yeah, but
even funny stuff, like even like Paolo, man, even now, I mean, if he was there, he would just start laughing. I remember we played against Leeds and Glenn Roeder was the manager. We had a good team, to be fair, like Joe Cole, myself, Trevor Sinclair. I think Les Ferdinand came at the time. And what happened was Paolo got injured a few weeks before, so he went to Italy. So when he's injured, he's gone. Yeah, don't see him. He goes to his own physio. It's fair enough. He's always done that. So obviously he's come back a couple of days before the game. So because he's Paolo Di Canio, no one's ever put him on the bench.
But how long's he been gone for at this point?
He's gone for about a month, getting treatment, doing his stuff. But he's back now. I'm fit. I'm ready to go. So Les Ferdinand knocked on Glenn Roeder's door and said, me and Jermain are playing tomorrow. Les said this to Glenn. Said, me and Jermain, because we've done well, we're winning games, we're scoring goals, you can't put him back in the team. If you put him back in the team, that's me done. Les was like 38, 39 at the time.
Wow, he went into bat for you as well.
Yeah, so the manager goes, no, you and Jermain are playing, obviously. So, change rooms before the game. You know, the flip charts. Maybe managers now, it's all different now. You got this.
Yeah.
So Glenn pulled the flip chart back and it was like, Defoe, Ferdinand up front, blah, 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 blah. Finished saying what the team talk, and then Paolo had his wash bag, and everyone was quiet, and Paolo got up, took his wash bag, said, Di Canio don't sit on the bench, and walked out.
Talk to himself in third person.
No, that's what he said. He said, Di Canio don't sit on the bench, and he walked out, gone, in his car home.
Man, that is brilliant. I would love to have played with him, man.
Yeah, Paolo, he left. But that was just like, and then like, honestly, it was just the maddest thing.
Did he get along with the boys in the change room?
The boys loved him though.
Yeah.
Because he was that good.
Yeah.
But even when he was at like Celtic and Sheffield Wednesday, and then he come to West Ham, and even when he came to West Ham, remember people was like, I can't believe Harry's taking a chance on this guy after the incidents that happened with the referee. He's crazy.
Gone mental, yeah.
Yeah, but even then, to be fair, if you speak to Paolo, it's like even at Sheffield Wednesday, he was like, the club didn't support me. I'm never playing for you again. I'm done. Even if I don't get another team, I'm not playing. That's what it was like. Even when, do you remember when him and Lamps,
the
penalty?
Oh yeah.
So obviously I was in the youth team at the time.
What happened there, by the way?
So basically he missed, and he never misses, does he? He missed against, I think, Villa midweek, and I think then on Saturday we had obviously a penalty. So Lampard been like another goal scorer, took the ball. So Paolo's like, no, I'm a penalty taker. I can't even believe Lamps even done that. Lamps like, no, I'm taking it. Paolo's like, so anyway, Paolo took the penalty, scored, and I remember. So I was in the youth team. I remember watching the game, thinking this guy's crazy. Anyway, when I got into the first team, one day I thought, right, I'm gonna take my. I said to him, Paolo, you know when you and Lamps was arguing? I said, what if he didn't give you the ball? He said, what? He said, I promise you now. He said, just before he gave me the ball, I was going to sit on the penalty spot. This is what he said. This is exact words, right? Because I remember everything. He said, I was going to sit on a penalty spot and they have to abandon the game.
He's a piss take,
one of the
man.
best penalty takers of all time.
He's a piss take.
So when he said it, yeah, because me, I'm like, I'm egging him on. I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, what if he said to me, but I'm thinking, abandon the game. This is the English Premier League. It's not like
to take the pen.
It's not like even like a pre-season game. Like, you know what I mean?
Abandon the game.
Everyone's got to go home.
I said, Paolo, but what do you mean? He goes, no, I'm sitting on it. I said, and I won't move.
How's the pair of balls on Frank to even?
Yeah, he was a kid.
Bro,
he was a kid then
plane.
too.
We was going to Liverpool, first game of the season. He stopped the plane.
Why?
He stopped the plane.
But on the plane, he stopped the pilot from taking off.
What happened?
So basically, we're sitting there,
Wouldn't give him the
and
ball.
again, so this is my first season. So I'm young. So I'm just like, to me, this is all mad. I've heard all the stories, of course. I've been in the building with him, but I was just with the youth team. But now I'm in the first team. I'm seeing everything now, right? So we got in at Stansted Airport, and I remember he sat at the back with his bag. He used to hate flying. And then the plane sort of like going back, sort of like ready to go on the runway. All of a sudden, I can hear him talking in Italian. So I'm turning around thinking, like, what's wrong with him? And he went, oh, stop, like that. So I'm thinking, so Glenn Roder's at the front, and I'm thinking, oh my God, here we go. He was like, no, stop. I'm getting off. So he's got his bag, he stood up. So all the players are like, Paolo, he's like, no, I'm getting off. No, I'm getting off. I'm not flying. No. In my car, it's okay, I can go in my car. Nah. If there's a problem, I can pull over to the side. If there's a problem in the plane, no, stop. He was like, okay, so let's go back. And I think it was one of the staff, I think it was Paul Aldridge at the time, basically had to drive him to Liverpool.
But why? What was his problem?
I don't know. He just said, I don't like flying. I'm not flying. I've got a bad feeling. I'm not flying. So
He just had a bad feeling.
Yeah. So as a young player, I'm thinking you ain't really got a voice for a young player. I'm thinking you've got bad feelings. What am I gonna do then?
I'm gonna stay strapped in.
Yeah. What am I gonna do then? I'm looking at everyone else thinking like Joe Cole and that. Cole, what? You gonna get off as well? That's something.
Paolo's right, boys.
Yeah.
Fucking off.
Fuck this. So anyway, he got off on that, and this is what sums him up though. And I remember thinking, that's a long drive to Liverpool. So anyway, he arrived at the hotel, come in, had a pre-match meal like normal with the boys. Next day, playing against Liverpool. About 20 minutes into the game, we get a penalty against Coppin, against Dudek. Right? So I was on the bench, so Paolo was taking a penalty, of course. So I remember he used to jump up and he just sort of like, and he just dinked Dudek. Dudek went down, he just like, you know he did that, right? And I remember sitting there and I remember thinking, this guy, you know, you talk about like characters and stuff like that. All what happened yesterday, and then you get a penalty at that Coppin, Liverpool,
Panenkas.
and you do that, it just summed him up.
Stops the plane, then does a Panenka.
Yeah.
That is fucking
Stops the
brilliant,
plane,
man.
I'm getting off.
But do you think, like that type of player, they're finished, aren't they?
No.
The closest
Yeah, it's
I would
different now.
say is like Haaland.
Yeah, and talking about like characters and stuff
Yeah.
like that, I think it was different. I think it was different back
But
then.
that's got nothing to do with football style. That's a personality.
I think.
No, but I'm saying
which is why it's
personalities.
weird.
Personalities that are in football.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why it's weird that it doesn't exist, because it's got nothing to do with the way they play football.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it gets coached out of them of like, you're not going to tell me what to do. You're not going to
Maybe.
stop the plane. You're not going to fucking, you know.
What do
Yeah.
you reckon? What do you
I think it's
happening?
important to allow people to be with them. As long as you're not disrespecting anyone.
Yeah.
As long as there's respect in the group and the staff, and generally players are anyway. But I think with coaches all over the world in academies, I think you have to allow players and people to be different sometimes. Not so robotic, and even coaching as well. Give them freedom.
Yeah.
I think you have to. I think especially from a young age, you have to give players freedom. We spoke about playing in the cages.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of kids probably back then probably played more on the streets in the cages, because now sometimes I drive around, it's like no ball signs. And I think that's sad, you know, because for one, it's good for the kids in terms of their development. And for two, a lot of kids as well, it keeps them out of trouble.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but you need. I think you need characters in the game.
So, talk to us about what actually happened with the move away from West Ham,
Okay.
because it was a bit of a sticky one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't even know why. It's crazy because
Media, pure
yeah,
media.
always at the time. I was at obviously West Ham, and my agent at the time, I remember handing a transfer request, and that just went crazy. Again, you talk about like looking back and the pressure. I was 20 at the time. I remember getting a paper, and, like my head, it was like a rat,
No way.
yeah, from like the jungle, and my head on it. The front page of the Sunlight. I remember,
The
yeah,
Sun, yeah.
because I handed the transfer request like when the club got relegated, blah blah blah.
You were trying to make England squad, or just trying to
But I was just and not only that as well, and because I just wanted to.
further your
I was
career.
of course. But obviously, I was sort of like advised to do that. My agent at the time said, looking back, I shouldn't have obviously handed in the transfer because you don't really need to do that to move and that. But that's what happened and that. But yeah, it was just that was crazy. And then I remember it was like on a Sunday night, and my agent phoned me. So I've just been on the phone to Tottenham. Like, what do you think? I said, yeah, I'm going, because again, growing up, I've known about the great players and the great centre forwards that I played for that football club. So I was like, yeah, 100%. Obviously, I knew Ledley, I knew Anthony Gardner, Jamie Redknapp was there at the time, Gus Poyet. So yeah, I was just like, yeah, and literally that move happened so quick because I think it was like the last day of the transfer window,
Right.
in the January. So the move like just happened like.
How did that go down though? Because besides Millwall, you would say West Ham and Tottenham are.
Yeah, obviously yeah. I mean, after that, you can imagine the stick I got for years playing against West Ham, but I always scored. I always scored against them, so I was just like, yeah.
What was it like playing at like the old White Hart Lane?
The best.
Yeah,
The best. That stadium, honestly. You see, when I saw the pictures, yeah, of them knocking that down, I was just like,
that hurt.
Yeah, man. Because the stadium was just so special, honestly. And even not just because I play for Tottenham, but even when I go with England, I speak to some other players, other clubs, they were like, oh, we love playing there.
They love going there.
It was just something, especially like European nights, like Champions League nights, under the lights at White Hart Lane. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And like it was special, man.
So, your first stint there, super successful. Which players are you battling for spots with at that time?
But when I first went, obviously I was playing me and Robbie Keane.
Yep.
And then
What a partnership.
Yeah, the following season is when the clubs in the Premier League started having like bigger squads.
Yeah.
And they start rotating. And I think if you speak to any centre forward, that's the worst thing for a centre forward.
Yeah,
So
right.
what rotate?
Yeah, because you don't get no rhythm.
Yeah.
To the point, and then after that, Freddie Canute came. I knew Freddie Canute anyway. Then it was me and Freddie, or Robbie and Freddie, or me and Freddie. So it was just like rotation when sort of like Martin Yeo took over. But at the same time, I just felt like it's different probably for a striker now, because even if you don't play or you don't start, you come on and you still score anyway.
Yeah.
You still can make an impact. That's why you're coming on to make an impact.
Even with attackers,
Yeah.
so fluid now. You play off
So
the left,
fluid. You play off the right.
you play
Yeah,
left
you
hand.
might have been playing off the left and right in this modern era at times.
Yeah,
because you were rapid too.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been strange.
So
innit?
who came
Yeah.
in? Berbatov.
But when Berber come in, do you know what's funny, right? People, what they always say to me are best partner, and I say Crouchy, and then they start smiling because they know the answer.
Yeah.
Because I scored so many goals with Crouchy.
Yeah.
But I think with Berber, me and Berber was on the Premier League show the other day, and I think I'm not sure if this. I think 40 games together, 40 or 50, we scored 30 goals.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when they told me that, I was like, what? Because I just remember Berber and Keno, and then me and Crouchy, sort of like natural partnership. So when they told me that, I was like, I always knew I did well when I played with him, but I didn't realise there was so many goals.
He is like, I think he's severely underrated.
Who, Berbatov?
Yeah, like
Right.
in terms of
Do you reckon? I feel like maybe because I go for Man U.
Maybe because
yeah.
at the time there was just so many centre forwards, weren't
Yeah.
there?
But
But if
this
Berber
is-
was playing now,
he was a wizard though. Wasn't
yeah, he was
he?
like this is a crazy. If I was a professional footballer, I'd play like him.
Why in training? Why does it look like everything's so easy for him? Like
even in the game, I just feel like you see what he does right. I think that's natural. You can't. I know coaches and that you want to coach kids and all that sort of stuff, but I think how he played and his style.
so weird.
Cruisy.
Yeah, it was just that's just natural because some of the touches and stuff like that, and even for us, like I said, like, wow, that's like levels, the touches and how silky he was, and unbelievable player.
Have you seen him kicking the ball against a wall lately?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still got his touch, man.
Yeah, he'll never
I
lose.
don't
that.
think he'll ever lose it.
No.
He used to throw the ball up, didn't he, as a kid, and just
Yeah.
control it. I remember I said to him recently, I said, Berber, defenders were so silly because I used to watch him, goal kicks, and I'd be standing there and I'd watch him, and then the ball would come and he would look at the defender and he'll bump the defender first and then just go and just take it out of the sky. And defenders used to fall for it all the time. Like he'd watch the ball and then he'd go like that, bang, and then
Because they look for the ball, right?
yeah, but his first touch was just like never seen him have a bad touch. Honestly, it's unbelievable.
I want to ask JD about Lasagna Gate. This whole
Yeah, that was mad.
from your perspective, was it you that came out and said you felt something was fishy, or was that another player?
No, I didn't because why would you? Because we were at the hotel in Canary Wharf
Okay, so yeah, okay.
the day before the game. I know it was obviously a big game, obviously trying to get into the top four. And I remember just getting a call from the doctor in the morning. And I was like, why's the doctor calling me? And he said, are you okay? How did you sleep? I said, yeah, fine. How you feeling? I said, fine. He said, because a few of the boys, like overnight, they've been ill. So because it's such a massive game, I was like, Doc, who? Like, I said, what? A few of the boys? What do you mean a few? Carrick, Janice, like about 5, 6 of the boys. Anyway, come down for the pre-match meal, and the lads just looked like, you can just tell you've just been up all night being sick.
Oh, no.
And then you start thinking, it's a bit strange that, isn't it?
Who were you playing for this?
West Ham.
So you had to beat them to make Champions League?
Yeah, we were playing West Ham.
Of all teams?
At Upton Park, right?
And someone's poisoned lasagna, maybe.
Right. And I just remember, like, it's just, it was just the way it happened and that, it was just crazy. And I think, like, even JJ and Michael, they obviously still played, but just with no energy. Just been up all night and that. But yeah, of course, it was just, how does that happen?
And the game, what ends up happening in the game?
And then it was, what was the score? It was, 3. Was it 2-1? I think it was 2-1.
You guys won.
No, but then Arsenal finished in the top 4 that year.
Was it when you... Was it?
Because I remember I scored. Yeah, because I remember Anton Ferdinand marked me that day. Well, him and I can't remember. And then, so you can imagine we had that, obviously, with the boys being sick, and then obviously finishing 5th, like, and Arsenal finishing in the top 4. Then we're just us thinking...
So obviously nothing got confirmed.
No.
Head's gone, especially because Arsenal made it.
Do you know what I mean? West Ham sent the chef to the hotel, and then I don't know.
All right, guys, just a quick pause in this episode, Buddhas. We are out in Chelsea, Melbourne, Victoria, because we are at Jack the Lad. Come in here. This is a Tottenham fused cafe. There are Tottenham jerseys on the wall everywhere. Old school ones, new school ones. It is insane. This is a Tottenham-centric cafe. They have breakfast rolls, sandwiches, you name it. They even have, in this part of the peninsula, a Peninsula Spurs watch group. On this TV for the Europa Cup final, there was 30 or 40 people in here. It is insane. We had to come and meet the owner over here, Nick. If you have a look, he's wearing an old school Tottenham top, and then we're going to show him, look at this. He bleeds the Spurs culture. Guys, this is a wonderful cafe out in Chelsea in Victoria called Jack the Lad. Make sure you come down. Tottenham are going to be touring Australia in July and August next year, playing the Wanderers, Sydney FC, and Chelsea. You're going to absolutely love it. Jack the Lad, what a cafe. Let's get back into the episode.
This is what we can do. I don't know if this was in your period at Tottenham, but I just think it's important for some of the younger aspiring footballers out there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but because one of your real traits was how quick you were in the box, like your rapid feet, your movement in particular, how quick you would take a touch and finish. Yeah. Like, I think you've even been likened to, like, not even having a backlift when you shoot.
No backlift.
But I don't know if it was because you were going through a bit of a rut in your career, or whether someone saw something in you where you wanted to quicken up your feet and become more of that sort of agile, powerful striker. Can you take us through exactly what I'm talking about there? Because I think I'm on the mark. But
yeah, that started, so the no backlift. So I remember when David Pleat signed me, like, he actually said that. He said he's not seen someone, I think it was me and I think Robbie Fowler, he spoke about, like, seeing someone finish with not much backlift. So it's just like,
bang,
sort
bang.
of thing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So, but again, I sort of like, I used to practice that from Lillishall, young. Because in my mind, I always thought, because goalkeepers always bounce to get set. It's no different when the ball comes to someone, you have a good touch to set. Your touch is nice, you think, okay, this is good, now I can shoot. When your touch is bad, you're like, oh, I need to. Goalkeepers, they bounce, they bang, bang, and then they get set, and then they're ready to spring and do what they do. So then I always think, well, if I can shoot quick before they get set, it doesn't matter who the goalkeeper is, then it's so difficult for them to save it. So I knew this from young. So when I used to do finishing in training, I used to finish like I played. So when I'm not thinking, this is just training. No, this is a game. So this is real, because I always wanted a situation where when I got in the first team, I wanted my teammates and the fans and my manager to believe that if this guy gets a chance, he's just going to score. So that's why every session I did, it was always 100%, like touch, finish, to the point where even when I got in the first team, you know, that continued. Me and Clive Allen, another a legend at the football club, Clive used to get a bag of balls. And I know when I watch a lot of finishing, sometimes now it's like pass there, do it like. Clive used to get a bag of balls, and he used to just say to me, just react. And he would just literally, sometimes he would just throw the balls against me. And I'll just touch, bang, but quick.
Wow.
Really quick. It would just roll it down the side, finish. And then we move to a different part of the box. Because in a game, you don't know how the chance is going to come. Yeah. So it can't be perfect.
It's unpredictable.
He used to get the little bouncy, the trampolines, the little blue trampolines. It was to get it and to put the trampoline on the side. And he would just throw the ball against trampoline. I'll just react, touch, bang. Like that.
Wow.
Both feet.
That's great.
So because I did that for such a young age, went to Tottenham doing that. In games, when I used to get the chances, I never used to think, I'm going to miss this.
Yeah, because you used to score a lot of, particularly like you talk about your relationship with Peter Crouch, a lot of your goals off him were reactions.
Just reactions, yeah.
Because your timing maybe is going to win this ball, but you also don't know where it might go.
It's like boxers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see like training camp, and when you talk about fast twitch fibers, and you talk about just reacting and just doing things like this, just proactive, you want to train your body and your mind to be like that. So as soon as the chance comes, bang, just take it without even thinking. Even sometimes after the game, people's like, oh, so what was you thinking in that moment? Of course, you answer the question, but really, I'm just like, oh,
Fucking shit.
Yeah, nothing was going through it.
I don't even know. I have to watch it again, and then I watch it. I'm like, oh, so you don't even know what you're thinking. You just do it.
Yeah.
Us, mate, you were the same in FIFA. The amount of times I fucking got golden boots with you on the career, mate. You were
FIFA,
fucking rapid in FIFA.
No, the amount of people that said that to me. Someone said this to me on the plane.
Oh, did they? They thank you for
So
FIFA.
much, yeah. One of the cabin crew said, "Oh, you have to play with you like FIFA."
What do you mean play with me?
yeah. Exactly.
So I was always interested by this. Successful couple years at Spurs. Then it was 1 year at Portsmouth. And then back to Spurs. Why the switch and then the return?
So at the time, my contract was running down at Tottenham, and was going back and forth sort of like with a contract. One day Ramos was the manager. I wouldn't say I didn't see eye to eye with him, because I was never one of those players who used to sort of like would have a problem with a manager, because even sometimes, if you're not in the team, again, I want one of those players that's going to knock on a manager's door and sit there and argue. I think it's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
Because for me, in my mind, I think there's only one way for you to convince the manager, however you want to say it, convince him, embarrass him or whatever, to put you back in the team. So that means when he puts you on for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, whatever it is, show the manager that you should have been playing. So that was always my sort of energy. Instead of going arguing with the manager, why am I not playing? It's a waste of time. So, but my contract was running down for whatever reason, and then I just felt like at the time, because football's business at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. At the time, the club had to sell me to generate some money, because years before we had someone like Sol Campbell at the club, who obviously went for a free, and again, an iconic figure of the Premier League. Played in 6 major tournaments for England. There's not many players that have done that.
Wow.
At the time, not many. Yeah. So you can understand it from the club's point of view, where another English player, like, unfortunately, we're gonna have to sell him and get some money for him. So obviously, I got a call from Harry. Obviously, I knew Harry from West Ham, and then I looked at the Portsmouth team, like David James in goal, Sol Campbell, Sylvan Distan, Glenn Johnson, Herman and Radisson, Sully Montari, Lasagna Diarra, Nico Crancher, and Milan Baros, and then Papa Bouba Diop.
Mental team.
Yeah, it's a
And then
team.
so I came in that team.
Was Boateng there as well at that time?
No, he left.
He just left.
That was a great team
He
to
come
watch,
before.
I remember.
So the boys, I was cup tied in that. Won the FA Cup. Got into Europe playing against AC Milan. Ronaldinho at Fratton Park.
I remember
That is unreal, bro.
That was
And
like
I missed,
a moment.
Yeah, and I
What,
missed
for
the game
Bar-
because
like-
I done my hamstring. But do you know what I did? I sat up high in the stand to watch Inzaghi's movement.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
King.
a poacher.
yeah. So I thought this, and this is what I'm saying about young players. Like, are you watching a game or are you really watching a game? So even at that stage, established player, 28 at the time, probably. I think I was about 28, whatever. I sat in the stand and I watched his movement.
You're still being a student,
Yeah, student.
even
yeah.
at that point of your
Yeah, yeah,
career
yeah.
where you've probably proven to yourself you know what you're doing.
Yeah. I think
other-
26. I think I was.
Other top strikers that you've spoken to as analytical as what you are, with the way you're breaking down the game?
I think when I listen to probably ones that I haven't sat down and spoke to, but when I listen to, like, I don't know, Harry's like that. Harry Kane, but I know Harry. When I listen to maybe Haaland and I see the way he speaks and recovers and how he lives his life.
Yeah. It's all about scoring a goal.
Yeah, there's no surprise that he's
Blue-like
doing.
glasses.
Yeah, there's no surprise that he's doing what he's doing, because it doesn't seem like he cuts any corners. So I just feel like you have to be like that. But I was just obsessed with it.
Did you, with this Portsmouth period, when you were coming back to Spurs, and you may broaden this to your career as well, but did you have, like you mentioned, these AC Milans and these big clubs, did you have those opportunities?
Yeah. So just before I signed back from Tottenham, I remember being in my house and the deal was getting done, and I got a phone call to go to Juventus. an agent phoned me, Penisa Harvey phoned me. Good guy. So Pini phoned me, and I remember him saying to me, I'm taking you to Juve.
What?
So I was like, okay, cool. But it's funny though, because obviously I gave Harry Redknapp my word that I'm obviously going back to Tottenham, and you know, it was a big thing, and the sort of like the fans were sort of like singing my name when I was at Portsmouth. Obviously Daniel was doing the deal, so obviously ended up going back to Tottenham. But yeah, I think that was from what Pini said to me, that was close.
Well, you obviously are a Tottenham legend, but is there any regret about not experiencing playing in, like, say, CDR or La Liga?
Yeah, because someone spoke about it recently. It would have been obviously nice to experience that. But do you know what I think it is? You know, when you're sort of like, I wasn't even in my peak then, really. But when you're that age, for me, the Premier League was the best league in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't want to leave the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? It's the best league, and of course, like, Juventus, a massive football club, and it would have been nice to experience that at such a huge club. But then at the time, it was almost like, obviously I've given Harry my word, the deal's getting done, and also, it's the Premier League, man.
Yeah.
Fratton Park, like, going back to Portsmouth.
With Ronaldinho there is
Mate.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's that main fan called? The big guy with the
He was just
John
like,
or something.
Yeah, and
Pompey
he's-
John or something.
Yeah, he used to
Have you
bang-
seen him?
Yeah,
He's on the top, he's
it brings a
top
bell. I can't
banging the
remember.
thing, yeah.
It was so long ago now.
Speaking of Crouchy, he's probably one of the most loved footballers of all time.
Yeah.
Fans, you know.
Yeah, we
coaches,
love him,
players. His podcast is amazing. Any funny stories from Portsmouth with him? Because he seems like an absolute.
Yeah, especially when he's had a few drinks. Crouchy, yeah, oh, what a guy. Just such a nice, humble guy. And it was difficult for Crouchy because obviously when he first came through, I remember, when he made his debut, is it QPR, and he came on and that, and the fans were sort of like,
Yes.
yeah, weren't nice to him. Yeah, because obviously his profile and what he looks like, don't look like a footballer, all that sort of stuff, but he definitely proved them wrong, to be fair, because his first touch and some of the goals that he scored, like he's in a 100 club, and the clubs that he's played for, yeah, that guy deserves so much credit, because, yeah, that was tough for him, even with England as well. When he first got to England, like with England as well, what the fans were like with him, and it must have been tough. But again, that elite mentality and that, you know, stay focused and to do what he done. But yeah, Crouchy's, yeah, funny guy. I remember we went on a Christmas do, and the manager Harry sort of like weren't meant to know. But we always have Christmas do's. But I think he wanted to do. The manager probably wanted us to probably wait till the end of the season to go out and stuff like that. But because we was doing so well, but yeah, as players, you know what it's like. We just decided to have our Christmas do anyway. Yeah, and it was funny because when I look at it now, then after it's funny because we went on a Christmas do, tried to be like anonymous, but then we got Peter Crouch there. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Fucking giraffe.
this guy, like who are we kidding? You can't hide with Crouch.
What is he,
but
6'7"?
I don't even know. Yeah, he's massive. Yeah, he's massive and that.
big
But
guy,
like, yeah, so yeah, but Crouchy was brilliant. So funny.
Yeah,
he's,
man.
Yeah,
he's
man,
actually
he's
seems
so-
like the best guy.
Like, what a character.
Yeah,
right?
so funny. But yeah, just like he deserves a lot more credit than he gets.
He
For
scored,
his
you're
football,
right,
yeah.
he scored some ridiculous
And even when he went to
goals,
Liverpool, I
man.
remember some of the goals that he scored at Liverpool. Because remember, it took him a while to score, and then after that, it was just like
He had a bicycle in the Champions
he
League.
scored one for Stoke against Man City, one of the best goals I've
Ooh,
seen.
the one back over
That one was
back over his shoulder.
Yeah, it's one of
yeah.
them.
What was the best changing room that you had?
We had a good change room at Tottenham, to be fair. Yeah, we had a good change room. Like we had some characters. Even when like Jonathan Woodgate come, Adebayor, Edgar Davids.
Hey,
Do you know what
you've got I want you to tell this Edgar Davids story of when you landed once and there was a short turnaround to recovery and you had to knock at your door.
Oh my God, that was crazy. Because remember when Edgar Davids come into Tottenham, even for us as players, like we grew up watching him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we were young watching him and stuff like that. Again, iconic figure in the game.
How old would he have been at that time?
Mid-30s?
Probably. What, 34 maybe or 30?
Still fit as anything.
But he was
right?
still fit. Yeah, he was
Did
still
he go
fit.
from Tottenham to Barnet? Was that something else?
No, from Tottenham. Where did he go? Barnet. I think Barnet may be
and he wore number one,
a bit
didn't he?
later. One number one. Yeah, madness. Yeah. Honestly,
Madness.
just like that summed him up. But we had. I think it was a European game or whatever. And it was quite late. And he come back, and I think I was near the training ground. I don't know if he was like near Canary Wharf, and then we were in early the next day. I remember getting back. I don't even know how he found my flight. And then I remember getting home, and there was just like the buzzer went, and then I thought, who's that? This was late. I opened the door, and then Edgar. So I was like, he goes, oh yeah, Jay, let me just like sleep on the sofa because we're in tomorrow. I'm not gonna go all the way home. I'm like, so yeah, cool, no problem. Like, yeah, it's fine. Because my friend was, I said, yeah, cool, no problem. I'm just going upstairs like, and thinking, what, Edgar Davids?
He's sleeping on the couch.
It's an unbelievable story. And then you know what? Imagine him in the night looking down at thinking, Barcelona,
Yeah, AC.
AC, Ajax, Inter.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean?
Juventus as well, I think.
Juve, yeah. Like, looking at
rips
him.
a big fart.
And he's just chilling, sleeping, with his glasses on.
That's my boy.
He slept with his glasses on, did he? No, he didn't, man. No,
He better not have fucking slept with his glasses.
The dreads and his glasses on. I was thinking, oh,
Might as well have had his shin pads on as well.
Hell, that's cool. That's a cool story.
yeah, funny.
Who else at Tottenham was because you played with so many players there?
Yeah, who was like the best players?
Modric.
Oh, fuck.
Modric. Obviously, Gareth had the two seasons.
Yeah.
When it was unbelievable. But I think, Modric was just like, I think if you speak to any of the boys, they was just like, nah, Luka was just unbelievable.
Those games against, was it Inter?
Yeah.
Did you start either of those?
No, because that was after. So that was the year after the World Cup. So
Right.
when I came back from the World Cup late pre-season and then played against Bulgaria. During the week, I scored a hat-trick at Wembley, and then because it was a double header.
Yeah.
And then we played against Switzerland away, bang, ankle. So we worked so hard the year before. I scored a lot of goals to get into the Champions League. Then the manager Harry spoke to Harry. He was like, "I'm going to buy Van der Vaart to play behind you, just off you." I was like, "Wow, this is unbelievable." And then bang, ruptured all my ankle ligaments, cracked the bone, and then I missed all the games.
Oh, man.
And I remember sitting in the stand at White Hart Lane, watching what Gareth done to Mike, and I remember thinking, I've never seen anything like this in my life. It was like watching. You know when you go over the park and you watch a kids game, but there's always a kid that's like a early developer. So the kid's bigger than everyone else.
Yeah. He's lying about his age.
Yeah, right. He's lying. He was kicking the ball, just no skills.
Yeah.
Just kicking it past him and just going like that, running past him, and then the quality would have. And I remember, I was like, okay, cool, no problem. And obviously the hat trick at the San Siro.
Yeah.
But like, I remember thinking, nah, this kid is he's different.
I obviously I'm not very fond of Spurs, but I remember exactly where I was. I was on the school bus watching that on my phone.
What did you think? Did you think, what am I seeing?
I was watching it thinking, oh, okay, he's gone.
Yeah.
That's it. Who's coming in for him?
Who's coming in for him?
Because,
I thought Zanetti's finished as well.
Yeah, I think Inter put in a £40 million bid.
No,
Straight
after the game, yeah,
they wanted him.
Yeah.
Because
Have you ever seen anything like that?
Not often.
Just running like that.
Once every
because wasn't that around the time Inter had just like won as well?
No,
with Mourinho.
Yeah, was that like
2010? This would have been
2012?
This would This would
No. This was 2011. No?
Yeah, it was like year after.
Oh, maybe it was a year
it was
after.
like practically the same
Maybe it
year.
was, Jake,
after
yeah.
because the World Cup South Africa was 2010.
2010, yeah.
So, back to Portsmouth happens, and then already you know that you're going back. How early on did you know that you were going back?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I like obviously I knew because obviously Harry. Like I've gone to Portsmouth. Harry's the manager.
Yeah.
And then get there a year, and then Harry goes to Tottenham. Okay. So I'm sort of like thinking, okay, surely he's gonna phone me and tell me to like, and then literally within days, phone rings. Harry, I'm gonna get you back. Blah blah blah. But to be fair, I knew. But like, but it took a little while for the deal to get done because obviously for Portsmouth they're probably thinking like you ain't been there long, and obviously just because Harry's gone don't necessarily mean that you have to leave.
Yeah.
But they got decent money at the time for someone that was there like less than a year. I don't know if it was 18 or nearly 20 million at the time. A lot of money back then. So yeah, and that was it. And it's quite funny though because I remember, and I've said this before, when I was the team played against because the team was struggling. To be fair, I think the bottom three. And the team played against I think it was Blackburn at home, and the club dentist Pete. He called me.
Club dentist?
The club dentist, Pete, and he phoned me and he put the phone on loudspeaker and the Spurs fans were singing my name.
Oh, wow.
The Spurs fans were singing my name. And I remember thinking, yeah, okay, I had a good relationship with the fans and that, but that's mad. Like, I'm a Portsmouth player and they're still singing my name. I was just like, so obviously when Harry called me, I was like, nah. I said to him, boss, get me back. And then my first game, and I remember I came back and then we played against maybe Wigan away. And then my first home game back Obviously, that's what I wanted. Was against Portsmouth.
Oh my God.
Yeah, God don't make mistakes.
Oh my God. What was it about Harry keeping always we always joke, what's his favourite player's name?
Terrific player.
No, which one was his favourite player that he always signed? Croatian. Not Modric.
Cranshaw.
Yeah.
Nico Cranshaw.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Nico,
But he always kept his same players together, but also he was very known for his man management too.
Yeah, it was good. Man management was good.
What for you? Because you played under him so much, and especially in a Tottenham shit. What was his man management like?
Do you know what? Harry is just chilled. I think Harry is just good with people. I think he was just so he didn't really complicate the game. He didn't really complicate anything. There was Harry, there was Kevin Bond, and Joe Jordan. I think training was this is how we play. But I think he just gave you freedom. You're good players. Sometimes you got to work it out yourself. Understand? I know. Football now is there's a lot of coaching and a lot of teams. Sometimes you look at teams, I'm it's too robotic. You need a little bit of freedom because if you're not good players, you won't be here anyway. So I think he gave us that freedom. And a lot of the time anyway, us are here, obviously crouching, you got me up front and we got to make chances for JD, all that sort of stuff. But then a lot of time it's just give it to Luca. Give it to Luca. I'm what? No, seriously.
Luca.
Yeah, because let's be honest, if I'm a manager, right, and I got Luka Modric in my team, and I look to my right and I got Aaron Lennon, and I look to my left and I got what am I gonna as a manager? Am I gonna say to Luka Modric, okay, Luka, I want you to do no.
Yeah.
No, you're a top player. You can do your stuff. Can't express yourself. Can't show people. With me, Jay, work hard, score goals, and then when you're doing it, the manager comes out in the press. He comes out. I remember one year, I think it might have been 2010 when I scored 5 goals against Wigan. The manager's clever as well. He came out and he said, at the time, he's the best in the league.
He does that a lot. He comes out and defends his players. I always remember with Frank when he came out and goes, "This kid's going to be a superstar."
Yeah, exactly. It went wrong. Yeah, it went wrong.
It wasn't wrong.
Yeah, and he's clever because he knows the players are going to see that. Yeah. So for me, he probably thought, he'll probably see that interview. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, Harry's clever.
What's your most memorable time? It could be a goal, it could be a game at Spurs. Probably the biggest moment for you.
It's so hard though because there's so many from obviously your debut when I scored against Portsmouth. So there's just so many. I remember when I scored the penalty in Europe to I think Martin Chivers had the European record for 40 years, and I broke it at White Hart Lane. To become the club's highest European goal scorer.
Bloody hell.
So it's just there's so many moments, games, and it's so hard to pick one, to be honest. No, scoring 5 goals against Wigan was probably the one because at the time I knew that I was only the 3rd player to do it in Premier League history. So I knew obviously Shearer did, I knew Andy Cole did it. So when I scored 4, I remember just looking at the clock thinking, I'm not, because mate, you're not going to get a big opportunity. If you scored 4 goals in a Premier League game and you look up and there's 20 minutes, I just thought if I could score 1 more, then I'm in that list.
That's mental to score 5 in a Prem game.
Do you know what I mean? And we're going in 2010 and the Premier League started 91, 92 or whatever it is, all those legends and do you know what I mean? No one's been able, only Coley and Shearer.
Well, how many? What's your Premier League goal tally? What was it in total?
162. Yeah.
So where are you on the
10th? Yeah.
That's mental, man.
Yeah, 10th. Yeah.
So towards the end of your Spurs career, when did you feel like it's time for a new challenge, or what maybe sparked that? Was it?
I didn't want to leave. You
didn't want to leave
because at the time, AVB was manager. We bought Sardado, and
that's when you bought fucking.
And
so many players, right?
And at that time, I was 30, and I was sharper and fitter and stronger than I was probably in 2010. My body.
How is that possible?
Because I just knew my body.
People might not know as well, but I'm pretty sure maybe this is part of the reason, but because your dedication. But you were pescatarian or vegetarian?
Pescatarian, yeah. So I remember just change everything, and not only that as well. Not that there was loads to change, but I just remember I had a fitness guy in the south of France that I used to go to every year. And he always used to say to me, "I'm going to put I'll put years on your career. If you just listen to me, I can put years on your career." And then I used to do a lot of power stuff with him that I weren't doing at the club. So I was doing it off my own back. And I remember just when I was scoring a lot of goals in the Europa League, every game was going bang, bang. And then So although I was sort of like more playing in the league, but in football, when you get to like 30 and sort of like 31, 32, that happens. I mean, it happens to everyone. Where you sort of like, you play less, even though you feel sharp and strong, you still like, but you don't play as much as obviously years before. But saying that, I still felt sharp, and actually, I thought that, 'cause I remember I signed a year contract, and I thought, oh, after this year I'll probably sign another one, and then it was just going like that. And I went to Toronto in 2014.
You've said this story 1,000 times. I've heard it 1,000 times, but I'm a Drake mega fan.
Yeah, so man.
Cool.
Yeah, didn't you? One of your first tweets, was it you that had one of your first tweets? Was like, "What's up, Drake? I'm on Twitter."
That's some shit I would do.
Just tagged him, man.
Yeah.
So talk to us about, I guess, the call you got from Drake leading into the Toronto signing.
Yeah, so I remember, like, obviously I met, the club spoke. Ryan Nelson was the manager. I played with Ryan Nelson at Tottenham towards the end. So he phoned me. Said, Jay, do you think we've got a chance of signing you? Blah, 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 blah. I said, I don't know. Like, obviously, the club's got to have to speak to Daniel. A guy called Tim Lewicki, who's the one that he took David Beckham to the Galaxy.
Okay.
So he was like the main man. He was like, oh, no, if you want to come, we'll come and get you. We're coming to London. So he come to London. I met him in London in the hotel. The club gave me permission to talk. I spoke to Daniel. To be fair, I went to Daniel Levy's office, and he said, you know what, I think you deserve it. You've got nothing to prove here. You've done what you had to do, blah, 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 blah. It'd be good for you and your family, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I met Tim and the guys in London, and it was just like, I was just blown away, because they did like a presentation. They gave me like an iPad, and they were showing me like the city and all that sort of stuff, Toronto, and obviously, and then they gave me like a shirt from the Raptors. Basketball, they gave me a shirt, and they all signed it to Jermain. All the players signed it.
Whoa, that's cool, man.
Right, and then he gave me like a brochure, and I was reading this brochure, and he was like, no, turn to the back, and I turned it round. It was like me in the Toronto shirt. So I remember thinking, I'm still a Tottenham player. You got this. The deal's not even done. I thought these guys are confident.
Yeah.
Anyway, then I remember going out the next day, and I remember after the meeting, me and my agent went to. You've been to London?
Yeah.
So I went to Zuma. You know where Harrods is? Like, it's like Knightsbridge. So I went to Zuma restaurant, so we're eating. So my agent said to me, what do you think? I said, I was 31 at the time. I said, yeah, I like them. The guys seem cool, blah, 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 blah. And I sort of like just said it. I was like, but if they gave me like a 4-year contract, 31, I was like, then obviously there's something to think about. 4-year contract anyway. Yeah. My agent goes, okay, give me 2 minutes. He got up, he walked out. He must have been outside for about 5 minutes. He come back in and said, yeah. They said, yeah, done. 4-year contract, cool, no problem. I was like, wow. Then the next day, I'm with my cousins, sort of like going out. Because at this point I'm thinking, well, it's going to happen. Then all of a sudden my phone rings, private number. So I thought, who's this? So I answered it, hello, it's just Jermain. I said, yeah, who's that? Drake. I was like, what? No. I thought it was a boy trying to wind me up. So I was like, yeah, right. He's like, no, it's Drake. So, but I knew that he was coming over with the weekend. Yeah. To gig and that. So I was like, okay. So he was speaking, and I was like, yeah, but you're over soon, no? You're coming over. He was like, yeah, I'm over with the weekend and that. And then I started hearing the accent. I thought, oh my God, this is Drake. And he said to me, oh, you'll love it when you come. He said, honestly, the city's unbelievable. He said, it's different to England, London, and that the press, they leave you alone, you can enjoy all that sort of stuff. So like selling the club to me, and then I come off the phone, spoke to him. So when you come over, we'll go out, all that sort of stuff. I'm thinking, wow.
Boys with
but I'm playing it cool now. I say, yeah. So, then the club flew my mum over, and then he was sending my mum and my sister and that flowers to the hotel.
Oh, amazing.
Honestly, the club, and yeah, it was just the maddest thing, bro.
Yeah.
So with you're 31, you move to the MLS. Now, usually when that happens with players, they think, okay, twilight of the career.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. You end up back in England and you're on fire again. How does that even happen? Because was it in your brain that I'm on the sort of I'm chilling now? No.
Okay. Because even when I spoke to Pat Jennings,
yep,
a legend in England, top legend, he said to me, when Poch came to Tottenham, Pat said to Poch, go and get Jermain.
Wow.
But at the time, I used to see, sometimes in life, yeah, you know when everyone's saying, oh, you're great. It's so easy to sort of like take your foot off the gas, I'm great. Yeah. But you know when you start seeing little things, yeah, maybe it's done or no. That's all for me. That's all I needed. I was like, yeah, okay. So when I had the opportunity to come back, and again, that's the only reason why I left, because I loved it there. To be honest, in Toronto, I loved it. Yeah. Like, but an opportunity to be back in the Premier League, the best league in the world, I was like, I can't turn this down. Spoke to Gus Poyet on the phone, and I knew Sunderland was a massive club, you know, unbelievable fan base. And he sort of like, and he just basically said to me, "Have we got a chance?" I said, "Well, obviously you're gonna have to speak to Toronto. It'd be difficult." And then once the deal was done, and I come back and I started, and I remember when I signed for Sunderland, I literally 4 months before I had a operation. My adductor muscle come off the bone.
Damn.
Over there, so it was a big operation. And I remember saying to Gus, like, I've been in England trying to get fit at St George's Park, but like I'm ready to go anyway. So yeah, fast forward, and obviously signed for Sunderland, and yeah, the rest is sort of like just history there.
So you've gone from living in London, Toronto, and then were you living in Sunderland?
Yeah, the North East. Yeah, North East. Yeah.
What was it like living in Toronto before we jump off that part?
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it was. I mean, the boys, like, it was so welcoming. It was like amazing people there. Yeah, man, it was just different. Just like New York. Really? Obviously, New York's around the corner, but just right. It was just like like New York and that. But yeah, so different.
I've never been.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So, again, you're straight back to it with Sunderland, but doing some research, and I remember this game actually, Tyne-Wear Derby.
Yeah,
you score, and you were very emotional. Can you talk to us about that game in specific and why you were so?
Yeah, I think because it was sort of like. I think probably like just like the magnitude of the game. I remember like when I signed it and everyone was like, oh, when we played Newcastle, it was like that's the fixture that everyone talks about. It was like the rivalry. It was just crazy. So I remember like the night before the game, you're sort of like you're switched on and you're focused and you're trying to paint these pictures in your mind of scoring and winning the game and stuff. And I remember my family come up on the Friday, like my mum, my sister, a few of my friends come up for the game just to put a little bit more pressure on me. So I was like, okay, cool. But I just remember getting up in the morning and I just had this feeling. I think because I prepared so well, and listen, even if I would have scored a tap-in, I don't care. As long as I score and we win, I'm happy. But then, like, to score a goal like I scored, probably one of the best goals I've ever scored, like in that game, in that fixture, it was just like, I just couldn't believe it. And because of the atmosphere and how big the game was, and like, honestly, the up to that point, I've never heard anything like it in terms of atmosphere and noise. And I remember the whistle went, and I remember just like, I just got goosebumps, and I just like started crying, and because it just meant so much to me. And I remember coming out the second half thinking, right, we just need to hold on and that. And obviously we won the game, and yeah, and even when I look back on that, and I see the goal so much, and people talk about it, I was just like, wow. Because to do it in a game like that, even if you do it in any game, you score a goal like that in training, you probably run off and celebrate. Yeah. But at the time, I was just like, wow. I couldn't believe I scored a goal like that in that game.
How was it? Because they're one of the most passionate fan bases in England, and I think it's because it is like a one-team town, and with all due respect to Sunderland, it's football is the end-all be-all there. It's not a major party city or anything like that. So how was it living there, and then I guess your interactions with the fans, because I love having them back in the Premier League. I think it's been amazing, and like just some of the atmospheres and some of the performances they've pulled out even. Yeah. So how was it living there and connecting with the fans there?
Well, that's like you said, it's just like it means so much to the people. It's like work, buy your season ticket, go and support your team. Honestly, it was just like it's mad, but yeah, they just love their football there. And someone actually said to me there, it was mad. They said, yeah, just beat Newcastle. Scott, beat Newcastle.
You could be a hero.
We get relegated. We don't care.
Oh yeah,
really?
Just beat Newcastle. I was like, what? I remember Gus Poyet saying to me, he said, Jay, honestly, they just you have to win that game. And that's why, on that day, man, like after the game, I was just like, a lot of it's like relief, but like the high, like it was just like, wow, this is crazy.
Who were some of the memorable players you played with there during that time? And I mean, who was a character who stuck out to you?
Do you know what? We had a good group, especially when like Seb Larson was there, John O'Shea, Wes Brown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but then when Sam Allardyce come there, when Big Sam got the job, then he got like Yunus Kabul, Patrick Van Aanholt. Actually, Patrick was there as well before. We signed Jan Kirchhoff from Bayern Munich, and we signed Yannick Villa, played for France national team.
The DM.
Fabio Barini.
Yep.
Oh, wow. And we just had like we had a way of playing, especially at home, that was just difficult for teams to come and play. The worst. It was direct, and we were fit. Because when he first come, Sam said the first thing he said to us, he's like, "You're not fit enough." He put up the running stats, whole of the Premier League, and we're near the bottom in terms of running stats, getting close to like. And he's like, "This has got to change." And mate, he made in training. We used to like on a Tuesday double sessions. Like we used to do these power runs, and honestly, the running stats we just went through the roof, and we just fit, hard to play against and direct.
Can you take us through exactly what you were doing? You mentioned some things before, but exactly what you were doing to keep your body sort of functioning and even thriving at that later end in your career?
Yeah, because even then I was doing my recovery was mad. I would finish training, I would obviously have my lunch and I'd go downstairs at Sunderland, I'd go in the pool, I'd do stretching, then I'll go in an ice bath, and then after that I'll go cryotherapy. So I'll do the cryotherapy for like, I don't know, maybe 3 lots of 2 minutes or whatever it was. And I was just like, getting that blast from the cryo was just, I don't know if you have tried it. But
I don't think I will.
Yeah, but you've heard about it. You know about it.
Yeah, is that like what? It's that. Wait, so you're in the machine, right?
Yeah, it looks like a sauna, but it's like
cool.
Ice.
It's like minus 130 or something.
How long would you be in there for? Like
2 minutes.
That quick?
Yeah,
Is that the one you chuck gloves on?
Yeah, you put gloves on. You put like a thing around your head and that. You got like long socks on and that, and it just blasts your body. Yeah.
You'd die if you stayed in there for longer than.
Yeah, because it's like dry. It's not like if you did that, and if you did that outside, you probably get like pneumonia and that, but it's just dry. So what it does is for your heart and your blood flow and everything, your recovery, it's just like blast, like it's amazing.
Wow.
But
pescatarian, what? How did that come about?
I don't know. I just thought, like, you know what? I'm gonna try and. I always used to eat well, but just like clean, have fish, and I changed that for a bit, and and I just thought, what's the point of going back on that? But like, yeah, they made a big thing about that in England because then I got back in England squad when I was 34.
That's crazy.
Do you know what I mean? So like, you're thinking like when I was like 30, and I was sort of like not playing much at Tottenham, and then people probably thinking, well, he's 31, went to Toronto, because a lot of people said to me, you don't think you're going too early? But then there was probably a lot of people that probably thought, yeah, but you're 31, and then I went to Toronto, come back, played again for England at 34.
That's an incredible.
And I remember going through the mix zone. They're saying to me like, they speak about my diet and stuff. I said like, I'm not vegan. I'm pescatarian. I just try and eat clean and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, but they made a big thing about it.
Are you still like that to this day with how you eat?
Yeah, I just eat fish and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no caffeine?
When I was playing, I used to.
Oh, okay,
we used to have these caffeine shots.
Yeah.
We used to have these caffeine shots. Like honestly, must have been. It felt like about 3 Red Bulls. Little thing like this.
I need to find them.
Bang.
Before a game.
Before a game.
Training as well.
Before a game. No, not training.
Okay, yeah. Because when you walked in here and you were
and I got a nutritionist. I got the best. Matt Lovell was the best nutritionist. I worked with him at Tottenham, and I still work with him now.
Right.
So he used to say to me, so pre-season, starve your body of sort of like any caffeine, so you get through it. In training, no caffeine. So when I take the caffeine on a match day, those concentration levels, bro. Yeah. It's just like
You got a lot of cheat codes, man.
Bro,
everything.
My last year in Korea, I did no caffeine through the week, and then an hour before the game, I'd have 2 coffees.
Yeah, have 2 coffees.
It was great, but then one day,
Yeah. It hits you hard.
Do you know how I knew? Do you know how everyone laughs about caffeine being addictive? And I was like, it's not fucking addictive. Like whatever. I remember once I went 2 days without coffee.
Got headaches and that.
Yeah, I was like
it's a strong
nauseous and
drug,
headache, and I was like,
yeah.
oh my
It's
God,
strong. Yeah, coffee's
I can't see.
shocking.
One of the stories that stands out from your time at Sunderland
It's very touching, man.
is your connection with Bradley Lowry.
Yeah.
Still to this day, very heartwarming and also heartbreaking story. Can you describe your relationship with him and how that came about? And I guess whether it, I'm sure it had an effect on you, but in what way?
Yeah, so that was like before a game when obviously you're told that there's going to be obviously mascots and there's a few kids that are obviously not well and stuff like that. So I remember just being at the training ground, the press officer Louise, she said to me, "There's a young boy that's come to the game with his family, like he's not well, he's got a neuroblastoma." So I was like, "Okay, cool. You're his favourite player. Can you walk out with him and hold his hand and stuff like that?" I was like, "Yeah, cool, no problem." So I remember just going to the game, and I remember sitting there in the change room before the manager came in to do his team talk. Like we started our suits on. I remember like just hearing this little kid just running around. I thought, making a lot of noise. Like I just remember thinking that can't be Bradley, because the way she described it is like he's ill. But all of a sudden he ran in, And he looked at me and he called my name, Jermain, and he ran over to me, just jumped on my lap. You know, do you get what I'm saying? So like it was just like
energy.
It was almost like I've met him before.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, I've never met this kid before. And he jumped on my lap, and he was talking about like he showed me like his Adidas boots and the same as mine and all that sort of stuff. And he was talking, but yeah, it was. I mean, it was just so like genuine. Do you know what I mean? I could tell like this little kid, he loves me. Like it was that connect, like yeah. And he's sitting on my lap and stuff like that. Honestly, it was mad. And I remember we went out for the game and stuff, and then in the warm up, I was kicking a ball with him, and he was just so happy. And like his mum and dad, Carl and Gemma, was there. And then we played the game. So the next day, I remember speaking to Louise, and I was like, Lou, like something like what's neuroblastoma like? Has you got a chance to that? So I was asking questions, and I said to her, can I go and see him at the hospital? So I spoke to a couple of the players. It was me, Vito Maloney, the goalkeeper, John O'Shea and Seb Larson. I said to the boys, I'm going to obviously go to hospital. Like, so John O'Shea, obviously captain, was like, yeah, we go. Get through the boys, Jay, we go. So we went to the hospital and was there for about a couple of hours. And I think this must have been like I think it was on a Friday afternoon. We had the game on a Saturday. And I remember Gemma saying, Bradley's mum saying, Brad, the boys have got to go now. They've got an important game tomorrow. So, and he was like, no. He was like, okay. It was like, so he went to me, come, like that. And he was like, so I was like, okay. So I sat down on a bed, and he got his blanket, and he put his head on my chest, and he got the blanket, and he put the blanket over me, so that he wanted to go sleep. Oh. Yeah, honestly. So I was just like, bro, it was on it. I just got goose. It was just like, wow. So I said to the boys, I said, no. I said, boys, Shazy. I said, no, you can just go and I'll go after. And I can just see Gemma's eyes. I can just see it. She's like, wow. And after, I remember speaking to her, and she said to me, she goes, like, honestly, before you came, he was just like, because I think he was in a little bit of pain and stuff like that, so he didn't want to eat, and he was giving nurses a little bit of, like, cheek and stuff like that. And then he heard you come in, and then I was giving him sweets. He was eating the sweets, and Gemma said, I just don't know what it is. It's honestly, it's just the maddest thing. As soon as he know you're coming, or he can hear you, it's just like... And then after that, obviously went to his birthday party, spent a lot of time with the family, then become closer to Gemma and Carl and all that. And then, yeah, and obviously at the end, when I left, I remember I signed for Bournemouth, and then that's obviously when Brad's passed away and that. But yeah, it was tough. And of course, it changes you, because I remember thinking at the time, like that could have been anyone. Like his favourite player could have been any of the players and that. And yeah, but the time I spent with Brad's, I knew that all those times, like he was happy. Do you know what I mean? Like he had a smile on his face, and he was happy in that. But of course, it changed you. It puts life in perspective in that, because when I signed for Bournemouth, because I was so used to Bradley coming out with me. Yeah. So like when I signed for Bournemouth, and I remember coming out for the games and stuff like the mascot and that, it was just, it was weird. I struggled for a little bit, to be fair, when I signed. When I left Sunderland and I signed for Bournemouth, it was hard. Incredible.
I think that's why I get so worked up when people say, "Oh, it's just a sport." It's like
no, it's not.
Like when you see situations like that and what it means to people, and you literally. I mean, you were just going about your day, but the fact that your presence gave him the energy, to eat, to push,
because he loved it. He loved football.
Like that's what the game can do for people. It's absolutely incredible. How long do we have left, Jakey?
Matt, how long did you say?
5. Okay. Cool. So before we finish up, I have to touch on Rangers. Now I don't know if this is true or not, but I was reading your mum was sceptical of the move at first. Was she just overwhelmed at like how crazy the club is?
No. My mum was like, my mum was sceptical of the move, because I think at that stage in my career, my mum was just like, obviously you're at a point now where you know if it's, do you know what I mean? But I think it was just like, my mum was probably thinking, because I was at Bournemouth and you're further away from me.
Okay.
Well, you've had this long career, and it's almost like you're getting even further away from me. Where like, because I was so close to my family, do you know what I mean? But like she obviously she knew, because my mum, she knows her football. She knows Rangers is a massive club and that. But until you're there, you don't know, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. So she was just like, oh, you're getting even further away from me. Like, so yeah. Right.
And obviously, you would have been an uncle to Joe, to Calvin, Glenn. How was it becoming a mentor like that? I mean, you obviously would have done it at your other clubs, but it feels like you were like...
The best.
Yeah,
it was the best in that, because it's just like when these young players that are sort of like on their journeys, like come into the building and they call it obviously that respect level, like they call you uncle and stuff like that. And even when I used to sit down and speak to them, and they used to be like, JD, this is mad. I used to watch it on TV. Yeah. Or one of the players, one day I was having lunch and one of the players said to me, George Edmondson, he said to me, he said, Jay, you know how crazy it is? You know when someone says something to you, but when he said it, I was like, I bet you've been waiting to say that to me for like months.
He's been waiting for the right
Yeah. He said to me, he said, Jay, he said, you know the goal that he scored in the World Cup against Slovenia? I said, yeah. He goes, I was in school and they stopped our lesson and we watched the game. And he said, now I'm playing with you.
Yeah, wow.
Fashion Sakala, come from Africa, didn't have much. One day was in an ice bath with just me and him. And he said to me, he said, Jay, he said, God is amazing. I said, yeah. He said, nah, bro, honestly. He said, can you imagine I was in Africa, we didn't have much. But today I'm here playing with you. And I used to watch you when I was a kid. And you know when as men, yeah, somebody like, I'm thinking, bro, you're gonna this guy's gonna try to make me cry in the ice bath or something. I'll change the subject. I said, yeah. No, but honestly, so when these young players look at you and they call you uncle and that, bro, honestly, it was just like, yeah, it was the best feeling. And I just had to, for me, all I wanted to do was just lead by example. So when I was around the training pitch and like, I know the boys used to sort of like watch me, the things I used to do and how I trained and how I recovered and all that sort of stuff. So all I tried to do was just probably do what I've always done, but like to make sure I just kept doing it even at that age. Even when I weren't playing as much as I wanted to, still lead by example.
Your goal record there is incredible too at Rangers.
Yeah, it's mad.
Just quickly, last thing before we wrap. You've played in the biggest and most fierce games in the UK. I want you to rank these rivalries for me, or derbies. North London, Glasgow, Chelsea, Tottenham, West Ham, Millwall, Tyne Weir, West Ham, Spurs.
Tough.
In terms of how fierce they are.
I'll elaborate on them.
Okay. So yeah, go.
Oh, you could ask me.
Okay, so North London
Yeah.
compared to Glasgow.
Oh, there's no comparison.
There's no comparison.
No. In terms of like, no, but the magnitude of the game, Tottenham, Arsenal, the magnitude of the game is huge because these are two big Premier League teams.
Yeah.
With amazing history, the play and everything, right? But I think in terms of a lot of stuff away from football,
Yes. Yeah.
that people don't want to talk about, and that things that I've heard over the years, growing up in the 90s, that you don't like.
Yeah.
That game and what I experienced up there was different. And even when I speak to, recently I was with Ian Wright because it was his birthday, and I'm close friends with Sean Wright Phillips. Yeah. So and he spoke about when he went to Celtic, and then he spoke about the police come to the training ground and all that sort of stuff. I was like, yeah, that's what happened. There was police at the training ground. We had a meeting with the police. So that's why when I talk about any derby, that for me, I just felt like it was more than just football.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was so much pressure as well. Like,
Are you talking about like the political stuff and
just everything? It was just everything on the pitch, away from the pitch. It was just like it was more than football. Like it just meant so much to people. Like as the players as well. Like you can't like to the point where they said if you don't win the league, if you come second, well you might as well come last.
How long didn't you win the league until you guys won it? How long was it?
So I signed in January,
Yeah.
and Stevie signed me and David. So we didn't win it. So I won it my second season.
Wow.
Basically, my second full season I won it.
Is that weird playing for Steven Gerrard, by the way, at all? Or no?
Steve is just cool.
Yeah.
But even going back to that though, I think if you speak to Ange, he'd probably say the same thing as me. But he'd be like, it's just like honestly, it's just the game is just crazy.
I think it is the most fierce derby in the world.
I spoke to Graham Souness. Sorry to cut you. I spoke to Graham Souness, right? I did a Sky game with him, probably about a year before I signed. So I didn't know I was going to Rangers, and we were at West Ham, and it was West Ham Arsenal. I'll never forget it. And obviously the Old Firm has to kick off at 12 o'clock on a Sunday. Okay, it's not going to kick off on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. No chance, right? People have to have work the next day. So the game was on in the next room where they do the makeup and stuff like that. And Graham Souness was pacing up and down, walking up. I said to him, I said, you're right. He's like, Rangers got to win today. I was like, this guy's like an icon. Like, do you know what I mean? Graham Souness. And he said to me, this is the best football match in the world. I remember at the time I'm thinking, we spoke about the Arsenal, Tottenham and Madrid, Barcelona. Like, he goes, no. He said, this is the best football match in the world. I was like, really? He said, we man. If you got a chance to go, we man. If you got a chance to go up there and watch it, it's unbelievable. And then, like I said before, when I said to you before, you have to go there and really understand it. And then, like my first game, remember being in the ice bath and they said there's a meeting in the canteen. It's like a meeting. We had a meeting already. And the police were up there. And the police were basically saying to us that, obviously, I think it was an away game. Like, if you score, don't go too much into the crowd because all that stuff can just cause a problem after the game with the fans. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just too much. Celebrate, but not over-celebrate.
That's full on.
I remember going downstairs and I remember being on the coach and you pull around the corner at Celtic and you see the fans waiting for you. And all you can see is like police and horses. It reminded me of like, you know when you go like a Notting Hill carnival? Like that was sort of like a lot. And I was like, at that point, imagine I played 700 games, 750, whatever. Even at that point, I'm like, wow, this is different. I've not experienced this before. Yeah.
It's crazy because, like I said, the other games, you played in a West Ham Millwall, a Chelsea Tottenham, Sunderland Newcastle, West Ham Spurs. Like, they're big games as well, but this is
massive games. And even
level.
And do you know what as well? When even the Tottenham Arsenal one, like, I remember as a kid, like Gazza's goal at Wembley, the free kick against like Seaman. So, and like even games that Tottenham didn't win. I remember Ian Wright scoring against Tottenham at the Lane, the header, losing one. And so I remember all these games. So when you sign and you think, wow, I'm playing in this game, and I played against the Invincibles and some of these players that won the World Cup. So these are big games, but in terms of like everything, the game and how much it means, and also as we need to remember as well, if you lose that game against Celtic and you're a point behind, in our minds we're thinking we're chasing them.
Yeah.
They're not going to slip up. Or if they don't slip up and we're unbelievable, they win the league. So we need to be at the top. They need to be chasing us. So that's just what it was fierce. And Sunderland, Newcastle game. You go into like Tesco's or something. You go into Tesco's, you're checking out. There's an old lady behind the thing. Yeah. Make sure you win on the weekend.
Make sure you win on the weekend.
I love that.
That's what they said to me. That's what she said to me. Yeah, wait till you'll think like make sure you win on the weekend. I'm not going into the office on Monday or whatever, or people in and around the city. Not going into the office like in fact I don't want to go into the office if we lose.
That's how much going to work if you lose.
Bro, that's how much. That's what players don't understand. You know, like that's why I think players, we have a duty to give everything. Yeah. Everything you do.
Yeah,
it has to be elite, in my opinion, because when you look around the stadium, not just men, women as well, because the women's game is growing, it's big now. Do you know how much people would want to swap places with you? Yeah. Do you know how much of these fans would want to be like, okay, you sit here, let me go and play, because I tell you what, if I played in this game, but you wouldn't even have to pay me.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to pay me because the feeling I'll get for this game is more than anything you can give me.
That's so true.
Do you know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. So that's why these sort of games, yeah, they're special.
We have to wrap there. Jermain, that was incredible, man. I can't believe I've just spoken to Jermain Defoe. That was...
Yeah, we have to say just quickly, though, your English career, though, is unbelievable as well. Which we didn't really get to go into, but like...
That's a whole other podcast.
It's like 50-odd caps, 20-odd goals, then you made the World Cup squad. Just very quickly,
Yeah.
What's mental to me is how you didn't get picked in 06.
Yeah, that's mad.
And I don't know if Australian people know why.
Yeah, I cried like a baby that day. Bro, I cried like a baby.
What happened?
So I started the season at Tottenham flying, but up until then I played for England and scored goals consistently throughout my career. And then I remember when the squad come out, towards the back end of that season, I didn't score as many goals as I did, but the first bit of the season. But I just remember thinking, well, I've done enough to go to the World Cup. And I'm not saying I should go to the World Cup and start, but I always backed myself. I thought, in major tournaments, when it gets to like quarters and semi-finals, and say we needed a goal, give me a chance, bang. You just like, when the squad come out, I remember getting a text and they're saying you're on standby, and I thought, but to be honest, right, when they said that to me, I thought, Darren Bent's gone before me. Because I remember that season, Bentley done his stuff, and I thought, Bentley's gone before me. And surely Sean White's, and then I saw the squad come out. I think I texted him. So there was no me, no Darren Bent, no Sean. And I remember thinking, well, I cried, and then I saw Theo Walker. And
this is mental.
And Theo would probably say it as well. Theo was 16 at the time, hadn't played a Premier League game, signed for Arsenal, like huge potential and stuff. And Theo, if Theo was sitting there now, we'd probably laugh about it, be like, bro, he probably was like, really? Theo probably thought, what, you taking me? What about Jermain, Darren, all that? Like he probably thought that because he thought, this is like the World Cup and that. And I think for me now, the saddest thing is, if he had gone and played, because he didn't even kick a ball really, but if he had gone and played and done something, and you think, do you know what? Yeah,
Justified, yeah.
Yeah, 100% of that. But the fact that he didn't even play, I remember watching it thinking, you watch games sometimes, you think, I think I could have done something in that World Cup. Because I actually went to Germany with a team, and I remember training. I remember thinking I felt so sharp to the point where the players, I don't know if it was Rio or Joe Cole, said to me, I was the only player on standby that went. I don't know what the manager was thinking, Sven. And I remember Rio, or someone said to me, you need to go upstairs, knock on his door in the hotel, and tell him you need to do something. You need to include him in the squad because they said to me, you can't be doing what you're doing in training and you're not going to the World Cup. It is the craziest thing. And I said to him, no, I'm not doing that.
Wow.
I said, I'm not doing that. Because I said, and then I remember flying home, and sometimes in life, that's why that season when I scored the 5 goals against Wigan, that season, I was just in a different place mentally because I thought I'm not missing another World Cup. Yeah, so I'm not missing another one.
Which you didn't, man. You went to the next one and scored.
But yeah, that was crazy.
Incredible. Like I said, we could have done 5-6 hours with Jermain, but before we go, we do need to tell you guys the Sydney Super Cup is returning, and that means Spurs, Chelsea, Sydney FC and Wanderers will all be playing, and the Chelsea women's team in Sydney. It's a massive opportunity to see the Premier League stars down under against some of the A-League teams, so keep an eye out for that, guys, for sure.
Will you be back for that? Will you come down?
I hope so, but that's the fans can't miss that one because you know why? I always say, like from afar when you're watching these players and that, an opportunity. If I was a fan here, an opportunity to obviously go and watch the boys train and up and close see the games. And also as well, an opportunity for your players to sort of like see where you're at in terms of, because we spoke about the league before and that, and I think sometimes it's important for these players, because a lot of, it's like sometimes friendlies, but there's no friendly. Everyone's competitive. That's just like human nature. But it'd be nice for the players to, when you put yourself up against the elite players, to see where they're at.
I'll never forget the first time I watched the Premier League side warm up. I couldn't believe my eyes how sharp they were. So
sharp.
Imagine what the game's like.
Hey, man, thanks so much for coming on, man.
No problem.
I know you just got off a
Cheers,
flight,
guys.
but yeah, appreciate it.
Appreciate you, JD. Suited and booted, man. Jermain Defoe, we out.